Understanding your dosha constitution can be extremely and incredibly powerful because it allows you to align your lifestyle, food choices, habits to create harmony and balance. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Talk with G, the podcast where we explore ancient wisdom, modern wellness, and everything in between. I'm your host, Gia, and today we're going to re-dive into a topic we've spoken about and touched on numerous times. I've actually had a few listeners reach out and ask for a deeper dive on this topic. It happens to be one of the most foundational aspects of Ayurveda, and I agree we can go a little deeper when explaining. We're going to be touching on the three doshas and the five elements that create them. If you've been following along for a while, you know Ayurveda is a holistic approach that focuses on balancing the body, mind, and spirit. And today we're going to get into a deep dive into how those three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, come to life through the combination of the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. This episode will give you a detailed look at the doshas, the elements that form them, and how understanding their relationship can help achieve balance in our body, mind, and soul. Whether you're a seasoned Ayurvedic person or someone just starting to explore these ancient teachings, this is going to be an insightful and educational journey. Let's dive in. In Ayurveda, everything in the universe, including our bodies, is made up of the five elements, also known as Pancha Matubos. These five elements are earth, water, fire, air, and ether. With each of these elements, they have their own characteristic, qualities, and attributes, and together they form the foundation of the doshas. Let's take a brief look at each element before we get into the doshas themselves. Starting with earth, the element of stability and structure and nourishment. Earth is associated with qualities like heaviness, solidity, and coldness. Think of the ground, dense nature of the earth beneath our feet. It's strong and stable to withhold us. Next, we have water, the element of fluidity, lubrication, and nourishment. Water represents the qualities of coolness, wetness, and adaptability. It is the liquid nature of life, from the oceans around the world to the lakes to our very own bloodstream. Coming in at 3 is our fire element, the element of transformation, energy, and heat. Fire represents qualities such as heat, sharpness, and light. It governs the process of change and transformation both in the body, like our Agni, our digestive fire, and in the mind for intellectual activity. Next up, we have air, the element of movement, expansion, and communication. Air is associated with lightness, dryness, and mobility. It governs the forms of movement, from the breath in our lungs to our mental flow of thoughts to the energy around us. And now we have ether, space, the element of vast emptiness and consciousness. Ether is the most subtle of the five and represents the sound within and around us. It is associated with qualities such as openness, expansion, and the unseen. With these five elements, they are the building blocks of everything, and they combine in different ways to create the three doshas. Now, let's get started with our doshas. Let's dive into each dosha, how they're created, and their physical traits. Starting off with Vata, the dosha that is composed of air and ether. If you think about the qualities of air and ether, you'll see that Vata represents movement and creativity. Air gives Vata its lightness, dryness, and mobility. Air moves quickly, and so does Vata. People with a dominant Vata dosha tend to be fast moving, both in their thoughts and actions. They may also have a quick metabolism and enjoy change and novelty. However, with all these wonderful attributes it comes with, when a Vata is out of balance, it can lead to anxiety, restlessness, and physical issues like dry skin and digestive irregularities. With ether brings in the quality of space and emptiness. Ether governs the cavities in the bodies, such as the sinuses, lungs, and digestive tract. Vata's connection to ether makes this dosha very ethereally and light. Vata types may have a tendency to feel spacey or forgetful. They often thrive in environments that are open and expansive. In terms of physical traits, and it fluctuates because our bodies do fluctuate each dosha at certain different times in our life. But a Vata's physical trait tends to be thin and light, with cool, dry skin type. They may also have experienced digestive issues such as bloating. Due to the fluctuation and irregular nature of their digestive fire, their Agni. When a Vata is balanced, it brings creativity, enthusiasm, and a sharp mind. And when out of balance, it can cause physical and mental instability. So, balancing a Vata is all about grounding and slowing down the constant movement. It's like telling air to stop blowing so hard. To keep a Vata balanced, I always recommend incorporating grounding practices. For example, grounding yoga poses like mountain or child pose can help you stay anchored. And when it comes to eating, try your hardest to keep your meals as warm as possible. It will work wonder for calming the dryness and irregularity in the Vata system. Next, we have Pitta, the dosha that is composed of fire and water. Pitta is the dosha of transformation and intensity. Fire gives Pitta its qualities of heat, intensity, and sharpness. People with a dominant Pitta dosha are often highly motivated, goal oriented, and driven. Fire is force to transformate, and Pitta types have the inability to transform and process information, whether it's food, ideas, or even emotions. However, on the downside, too much fire can lead to irritability, inflammation, and digestive issues like heartburn or acidity. Now, mix in water, the other element with Pitta, brings a cool, lubricating, and fluid quality. Water balances the intense heat of fire, but too much water can cause the Pitta energy to become stagnant and heavy. People with Pitta imbalancement may experience excessive sweating, oily skin, or digestive congestion due to this watery quality. In terms of a physical trait, Pitta types are typically medium built with warm, moist skin. They tend to be strong with good digestion, but can become overheated easily, mentally and physically. When a Pitta is balanced, it brings clarity, intelligence, and vibrant health. But when it's out of balance, it can manifest as impatient, aggression, or conditions like rashes, ulcers, excessive body heats, breakouts. Balancing a Pitta is about cooling down the fire, not putting out the fire, but keeping the fire at a good enough heat, calming the mind, and avoiding excess stimulation. Some lifestyle practices that work for Pitta imbalancement are cooling activities like swimming, walking in nature, and practicing calming breath work. I know, depending where you live, some people don't want to go outside in the winter season. That's the best time to walk outside. It's a little more emptier, you can't bump into someone and get frustrated, and the air is cool enough for you to enjoy that walk. You can also find relief in foods like cucumber, coconut, or mint, and those have a natural cooling effect. And the great thing about those three items I listed, they can go in your water, they can go in a smoothie, they can go in your food. Now, let's explore Kapha, the dosha that is composed of earth and water. Kapha is a dosha of structure, stability, and nourishment. Earth gives Kapha its qualities of heaviness, stability, and solidarity. Earth is dense and grounding, and so is Kapha. As I mentioned in the beginning, think of the earth. We stand on it, we depend on it. People with a dominant Kapha dosha tend to have strong, sturdy body types and a calm demeanor. They're often nurturing, patient, and reliable. However, when kapha is out of balance, it can lead to sluggishness, weight gain, and respiratory issues like congestion and sinus problems. Water, being the second element in kapha, provides fluidity and lubrication. Water in kapha also gives this dosha its coolness and moisture. People with a kapha imbalancement might experience excessive mucus, bloating, or water retention. However, when in balance, water helps kapha to stay fluid and adaptive, supporting the body's ability to nourish and restore itself. With that said, you want to try and keep the earth element and the water element as balanced as possible, because what happens when you overwater the earth? It becomes flooded and takes longer to dry. And you don't want it to get too dry, but you don't want it to lose its structure. In terms of physical traits, Kapha types are often larger with a strong build and smooth skin. They may have slow digestion and tend to feel sluggish when they're out of balance. When Kapha is balanced, it offers a steady, grounded nature and excellent stamina. When out of balance, however, Kapha can lead to lethargy, weight gain, and respiratory issues, asthma, sinuses. To balance the Kapha, you want to keep the energy moving. Vigorous exercise like running or dancing are excellent to get the blood pumping and breaking up the stagnation that Kapha can bring. You also want to focus on lighter foods such as leafy greens, spicy vegetables, and whole grains to stimulate digestion and prevent the buildup of extra moisture. So here's the thing. We're all Vata, Pitta, and Kapha to some degree. Every one of us has a combination of the three doshas, but it's the unique ratio of these doshas in our body and mind that defines our prakat, our unique constitution. This means that while you may have dominant doshas, you also have elements of the other doshas within you. Understanding your dosha constitution can be extremely and incredibly powerful because it allows you to align your lifestyle, food choices, habits to create harmony and balance. For example, if you're a predominant pitta, you may have fire intensity nature, but you may also have a little vata energy, making you quick to adapt to new things. And perhaps you have some qualities of kapha, giving you the grounding and stability you need to stay focused. The beauty of Ayurveda is that it helps us understand how to nurture and balance these doshas within ourselves. Each dosha has its unique strength and challenges. And when we know how to manage them, we can enhance our well being and thrive. I highly recommend taking a dosha quiz to learn your dominant dosha. I do have one on my site, so check it out. Once you know that, you can begin to make small changes to your lifestyle, diet, and self care routine to support your body and mind in the most holistic way possible. I have nothing against going and do this fad and that fad, but what better medicine is there than nature? And there we have it, a deep dive into the three doshas and the five elements that create them. I hope you have a better understanding of how Vata, Pitta, and Kapha shape our physical, emotional, and mental well being, and how we can work with these energies to create balance and harmony. If you're looking for more personal guidance on balancing your doshas or creating a holistic Ayurvedic routine, feel free to visit my website, www.soul-sinks.com for more information. Thank you for joining me today on A Talk with G. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Remember, balance is the key, and understanding your dosha is a powerful step towards living your best life.